Hi everyone, my name is Tylee Thompson, and today I'm going to be discussing the social judgment theory and how it helps us understand how people perceive and respond to persuasive messages. I'll briefly explain the theory, evaluate its strengths and weaknesses, and determine whether it meets the criteria of a strong psychological theory. Understanding how people react to persuasive attempts is crucial, whether in politics, marketing, education, or everyday conversations. The social judgment theory provides a useful framework for navigating these interactions effectively. So what is the social judgment theory? This focuses on how individuals evaluate persuasive messages based on their pre-existing attitudes. Instead of viewing opinions as binary, either agreeing or disagreeing, this theory suggests that people process new information along a continuum of acceptance and rejection. This continuum consists of three key zones. Number 1, latitude of acceptance, ideas or arguments that a person finds reasonable that is open to considering. Number 2, latitude of rejection, ideas that a person strongly disagrees with and is unlikely to accept. Number 3, latitude of non-commitment, ideas that a person feels neutral about and could be persuaded to accept or reject. The theory also introduces the concept of ego involvement, which refers to how strongly a person identifies with an issue. The more ego-involved someone is, the smaller their latitude of acceptance is and larger their attitude of rejection. This explains why people often resist changing their minds on deeply held beliefs, even when presented with strong evidence. Another key idea in this theory is the contrast and assimilation effect. If a message falls within someone's latitude of acceptance, they are more likely to perceive it as closer with their own views than it actually is, which is the effect. If it falls within their latitude of rejection, they are likely to see it even as further from their beliefs than it actually is, the contrast effect. This explains why people may dismiss moderate messages if they perceive them too different in their own views. So for example, imagine a person who's strongly against electric cars because they believe they're unreliable. If they hear a mildly positive argument about electric cars, they might assimilate it and perceive it as slightly reinforcing their skepticism rather than being completely opposed to their belief. However, if they hear a very strong argument in favor of electric cars, they might contrast it, perceiving it as extreme and dismissing it entirely. This phenomenon explains why extreme persuasion tactics often backfire. So let's evaluate using 4 key criteria. Is this testable? One challenge is that it's difficult to measure the exact latitudes of acceptance, rejection, and non-commitment. While researchers have developed surveys and experiments to test the theory, attitudes and perceptions are often subjective and influenced by various external factors such as emotions, social context, and prior experiences. However, studies in persuasion and attitude change provide some empirical support, making it somewhat testable but not complete precision. Is this coherent? Yes, it's logically consistent. It builds on psychological principles related to perception, categorization, and cognitive biases, explaining why people react differently to the same persuasive messages. This theory is well structured, and key concepts make intuitive sense in explaining why persuasion is often challenging. Is the theory economical? Social judgment theory is relatively simple and elegant in its explanation on how people process persuasive messages. By categorizing attitudes into 3 latitudes and introducing the contrast and assimilation effects, it provides a clear and concise model of attitude changes. However, some critics argue that it oversimplifies human cognition and ignores emotional and social influences, which play a significant role in persuasion. Now, does the social judgment theory help phenomena? Absolutely. This helps explain why persuasion often fails and why people resist changing their minds on deeply held beliefs. It sheds light on why controversial topics like politics, stuff like that. So in summary, social judgment theory provides valuable insights into how people evaluate persuasive messages based on their pre-existing attitudes. While it has limitations in testability and may oversimplify human cognition, it remains coherent, economical, and useful for framework for understanding persuasion and resistance to attitude change. Whether in marketing, politics, or everyday conversations, recognizing the impact of SJT can help us communicate more effectively and navigate the complexities of human perception. Thank you.